Kind of interesting. All right, well, why don't we move on to some news here? We've got some pretty cool news in terms of some skins, as well as Blizzard giving us some packs too. But let's start with the new Warlock hero. So Allie, yeah, like what do you think about this new Warlock? Is it a gnome? Is Nemzi
like
Necrofizzle?
I don't know if she's a gnome. I think she's pretty cute.
Yeah,
I mean,
I would never have guessed a Warlock would look like this.
Yeah, I know, right? When I first saw it, I was like, well, I like it, but I wouldn't have guessed this to be the alternate hero, because I've been wanting a Warlock alternate hero for a very long time.
Right, exactly, right?
I gotta go find a Fireside Gathering to get her.
She's at least riding a ball creeper. That's cool. That's definitely
that looks really cool.
She actually looks like a badass.
Yeah.
Like, if you think about it, she looks like a little badass. Like,
yeah, she eating her little oranges.
Yeah, she's like, don't mess with me.
You know? I want to know what our remotes are gonna sound like.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's really interesting.
Oh wow.
And then what are they gonna do special for the life tab animation? Because they make everything a little bit special.
Yeah,
that's true. Maybe oranges flying from her head or something. I don't know.
Ow every time. Your life tab and she says, "Ow."
Oh, that'd be so good.
Oh my, that would be amazing.
Don't do that.
Oh, that'd be so good. But for those of you wondering how you get it, it's not something that you can necessarily get just in the game, just playing normally. So they're going to be available at Fireside Gatherings starting October 17th. And this is just yet another thing that we're seeing in terms of the Fireside Gathering initiative. We're just starting to see more and more of it. And this is like a big one. Like you said, Allie, Warlock skin is something that a lot of people have been waiting for.
Yeah, I really
want this. Time. Yeah, so there's been mixed feelings about just the fact that you have to go to a Fireside Gathering and participate in it, and you'll get this. I think officially, it's if you go to a Fireside Gathering that's a tavern, an official tavern, which means that you have to have done I think 3 Fireside Gatherings in the past, or have a like an actual event. Then you get your sign, you're actually in a tavern, like an innkeeper and things like that. If you go to one of those official events, then you'll have access to this. As long as 3 people, I think, are at the Fireside Gathering, then you'll have this unlocked for you when you're there. I think you can actually just play it just being at the Fireside Gathering too, and then it just unlocks for you. So a lot of people obviously asking about Firesides right now. I've had people just already email me and just in my meetup for our Firesides that we host. So I'll definitely answer some. We have some Q&A about it too. So I'll talk a little bit more about it later, but really, really cool. I mean, you guys go to Firesides, you guys going to be trying to get this thing by going to an event nearby?
I'm going to try. I'm going to look and see what Fireside Gatherings are around. I'm kind of curious though, what do you guys think of the controversy? Because obviously a lot of people are kind of upset that they probably won't be able to get it. And I kind of understand where they're coming from, honestly. If they have to travel to get to a Fireside. So I don't know. What do you guys think?
I don't know. I mean, there are like not very many Firesides near me.
Yeah.
I feel like it'd be like easy to go to though. Like there is one like every once in a while. So I mean, I guess it sucks that you have to wait or like go far for one just to get the skin. I mean, it depends if you really want the skin, I guess.
Yeah, it's harder for me to say because I have so much access to them, because not only do I have access to the cave on the East Coast, which is which actually shout out to them real quick. They won the TVT thing, so they're going to BlizzCon. But they host Firesides every week. They host them every week, so it's like an hour and a half drive from my house, which isn't that bad. But on top of that, I also used to host Firesides myself. So like the local store in my area, I got to be like an official tavern. So if I want to, like, I can try and host one of these Hollow End gatherings or whatever they're called, and make sure that like everyone in my local area gets access to this hero. So it's like harder for me to say whether it's wrong or not because I have so much access to it.
Well,
right, that's fair.
Hopefully they make it like these things worth traveling to, because like in the past you go to a Fireside and like maybe there's like a couple people.
Yeah, that's true as well.
And like hopefully they kind of do something where Firesides are more like attractive to go to.
And this is a good step. Like getting a new hero is something people always like, so it might drive people out a little bit further than they normally would go to Firesides.
Like maybe they're upset they have to travel and they're here like, oh, this is actually pretty cool. I'm glad I came out.
Is there a time limit on this? Is it only available for a certain time?
This is starting on October 7th.
Yeah.
I don't think it gives a end date.
Because if there is no time limit and it's just any time you show up to a fireside gathering from now till years, like I don't think that's as bad. But if it was like a set window, maybe it would be a little bit more unfair. So
yeah, so the Hallows End. I mean, again, like we'll try to answer as many questions just because I host fireside gatherings too, and the Hallows End fireside gatherings are really these Halloween themed ones, which will send you a support kit. That's going to be happening between October 9th and November 5th, but it sounds like it'll always be available. I think the skin will be available just throughout, just forever, or maybe the end of the year or whatnot. So. I'm hoping they will be, because I actually don't have time to host one before BlizzCon. So I'm not going to be able to do my fireside until later in November or maybe early December. So I think what I know of is that it's still going to be available then. So I've been telling people that you'll be able to get it once we do that. And in terms of like trying to get people there, I think this overall will probably cause more people to host firesides. If they start seeing...
Yeah, I mean, I think
that's probably the reason why.
Definitely a good thing. I mean, I think it's a really good thing that they're giving people like a reason to go to firesides. Like encouraging people to be more social. And it's only a skin. It's not like, if you don't go to a fireside, you can't get an expansion. Like, it's not a massive... Skin isn't a massive deal. But it is an encouragement to go there. So I think it's a good idea. I think it's good what they're doing.
You can't get Shadow Reaper Anduin unless you go to a fireside.
Oh God, I'm already there.
Dude, you see like ridiculous amounts of attendance at fireside gatherings. No, but there are a lot of things that you can do. We'll talk about some. I know there's a question later about ideas for fireside, so we'll get to that in a second. But obviously very cool that they're trying to mix these initiatives together, or just trying to help with that fireside initiative. Another thing that they're doing is that they're giving a golden classic pack away next month as part of the Twitch Prime, right? It's the Twitch Prime goodies or loot that you get each month if you are part of Twitch Prime, or if you sign up that month. So you're gonna get this awesome looking golden pack here, and just to clarify, it's not like the golden legendary that we got previously, where you get a pack and it's like guaranteed gold legend. This one is just every single thing in that pack is gold. So you gotta hope to get super lucky, like one of those Reddit posting type of packs, so that you can just like totally maximize your value there. But really, really cool. I think it's one of the better things that we can all get, from an actual Twitch Prime thing. So yeah, what do you guys think? I'm assuming you guys don't think it's a bad thing.
Yeah. It looks really pretty.
Yeah.
I'm looking at the animation now, so excited for that.
Yeah.
I might just never open it so I can just look at it.
Yeah, right.
That might be the play, honestly.
Right,
that's really good. I didn't think about that.
I mean, does it actually do this animation the whole time? Does it actually do this? I mean, but you have to open it to get the animation, right? Like you actually... At least this.
No, I'm just saying, looking at it,
like
just
sitting there on the side.
You're just looking at the shimmering and stuff. Oh, okay. I thought you like the opening animation.
So pretty.
Like golden kappa.
It is. It's totally pretty. Totally good. Yeah. So, anyways, you wanna, if you're not already part of Twitch Prime, or think about it, because you could get some golden cards there. And if you already are, then just make sure you go to the Twitch Prime page every once in a while and check to see what kind of loot you have. I know I'm kind of bad at that, to be honest. I always have to go like every couple months or something and remind myself to look. Another thing that has to do with golden cards, and this in this particular case, we're talking about Legend, is that the BlizzCon virtual ticket loot has been announced too. And in terms of Hearthstone, there's usually like a bit of loot for every single game. So for Hearthstone, we ended up getting a golden legendary. So if you do sign up for the virtual ticket, you will be getting just a golden legendary that's, I guess, just put into your account, right? Or I forget how that showed up last time in the UI. Do you guys remember? Like, it wasn't a pack, right? It was just it just shows up right when you log in or something like that, right?
Probably.
It was something like that before. But this is really cool, because if it's not a repeat, it's super cool.
So for those of us actually going to BlizzCon, though,
yeah,
it means we won't be getting it.
no,
This bad man. No, I'm just kidding.
Exactly.
I was just giving my virtual ticket away, so now I have to think about like keeping it.
All right,
I'll
so
take that back.
I guess the question is, which golden legendary would you want if you were to get one?
Ooh.
Alliestrasza? I think Alliestrasza is my favorite. I wouldn't play it, but it looks cool.
Yeah.
I think I have a golden here actually.
I don't know. That's a good question. I have a golden Antonitis, so I've got my golden fireballs. So I'm covered in that department.
Yeah, I'd have to say Golden Yogg.
Golden Yogg. Wow, golden
You
Yogg.
would, Jackie. You would.
Yeah, I know you totally would, right? I would say, I mean, I would. Do I have a golden Lich King? Gosh, I never use the golden cards because I never have enough to like make it look really cool. But it might have to be the Lich King if I don't already have it. Shoot, I have to look again. It's gonna be a big card, whatever it is. I can't think of a small card I would want a golden one of. So it's definitely one of the big ones.
Golden Millhouse. Yeah.
Golden Millhouse.
Nat
Okay.
Pagel.
Nat Pagel. No, definitely not. Nat Pagel.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Well, anyways, that's obviously a really cool thing too that Blizzard's giving out. Like all that, all of us or all the community complaining about Blizzard not giving us anything. I think we're starting to in the last year. I think we've gotten a lot of stuff from them. So hopefully that's definitely going to stop. Another thing about BlizzCon is that the music act was announced. And Muse is actually playing at BlizzCon, which is really, really cool. It's actually a band that I would actually go watch compared to a lot of the other bands that they've hired in the past. I just kind of pass on. But any of you guys big Muse fans?
I like Muse.
Spidonia.
So yes,
Spidonia is really happy.
Is it? Yeah.
Oh, is he? Is he a huge Muse fan?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, awesome. Awesome.
I haven't listened to them in ages, but I've got a couple of their albums. I used to listen to them, so
yeah, me
definitely
too.
good.
Yeah, I haven't listened to any of their recent stuff, but yeah, some of their old albums are awesome. So that's going to be happening on Saturday. If you guys want to check that out. And last thing, the new social feature was added to Battle.net, or at least the beta version of it. So some folks can enable it and give it a try. And for those of you wondering what that is, that's kind of similar to, say, like having Discord, within the Battle.net client, that sort of thing, having groups and your ability to kind of connect with people that you play Blizzard games, or maybe across a bunch of them. So I wanted to ask you guys, do you think you guys will use it? I know like Ant and Dr. J, you guys are always in, what's equivalent to like pro talk, like just a bunch of the pros always talking to each other, and you guys probably use Discord and Skype or whatever it is. You think you would use like this Battle.net group stuff?
Yeah, I mean, it depends like how many other people are also willing to change to it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's usually fine. I know before they had like voice in the client, and it just like doesn't work for somebody. Like I was never able to talk whenever we tried to make a group.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's good enough. I wouldn't mind changing to it.
For me, probably not. Like, I mean, it's like if everyone, like Ann was saying, if everyone changes to it, like I'm forced to change to it as well.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. I think Discord's just beautiful in all its glory. So
Discord is beautiful. Wow, I don't think I've ever heard that. That's cool.
It's bad.
Really, I think Discord's beautiful. Like
No,
I
I think
remember
it's-
the
I know,
early
I
days where I'm like
obviously.
trying to log into the thing and it's awful.
Yeah. No, I mean, Discord is clearly we're using it right now. So, no, it's definitely great. And it has like the video thing now too, right? So I feel like that's what it's competing against. Allie, could you ever see like your community using a social net or a Battle.net social feature thing over something like Discord, or?
Maybe. It's the same concept as Dr. J and Ant. If everyone else is willing to adopt it, then sure. But is it offering anything better or more than Discord? Because I feel like you need to give some kind of incentive to get everyone to switch over. Because I have my channels all set up and everyone's acclimated there. So maybe I'm never say never, but as of right now, I probably won't use it.
I mean, you can have avatars. So you can have like one of your maybe avatars from one of the games. But yeah, I think right now there might be just too much overlap. It's a good direction though. I mean, I'm glad they're doing it.
That's true.
Yeah, but they do need to do something like, I mean, an example would be, it'd be cool if you could set up pugs, like Overwatch pugs, for instance, really easily through, just creating groups. Like if you have 12 people or something in a group, you can just start game or something. Hearthstone too, same thing. If you could just like generate a quick game with just your friend, like instead of messaging him, it's like start Hearthstone game or something like that. I mean, that might work too. That could be cool.
I mean, maybe like they could always. I was just thinking about it. Maybe they could also set up. You know how like you have to go to select taverns to do certain tavern brawls, like the fireside brawls or whatever they're called.
Yeah.
Like maybe they incorporate in a way where you could have special brawls if you're a part of a group.
Oh yeah,
that's kind of cool.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Yeah,
Ooh,
that would be good.
That's definitely a good implementation of it. Yeah. But on top of all of this, kind of social group stuff, you can now appear offline, which a lot of people were very happy about that. Yes. So hide from all of. You can just be a total lurker, and from now on, if you want to be. Yeah.
Okay.
Totally good. But yeah, check that out too, guys. It's in beta right now, so if you wanna, I believe it's still in beta, right? Yeah, I think it's in beta right now. So if you guys actually wanna try it out and maybe even comment on some things that they can change, you can do that now. All right, guys. Well, I think right now we want to again remind you guys that this episode is brought to you by Great Shoes, and Great Shoes. Never heard of them. They're this awesome sneaker company from Brooklyn. It's actually Brooklyn's first sneaker company, and they sell all kinds of styles. So like modern, just a lot of styles that all kids are wearing right now, as well as some like athletics styles, and definitely lots of them. So if you go to greats.com, you can definitely see a variety of them. Good prices, of course. Tons of different colors, and you can customize it. All the sizes are there too. We actually, me and Allie actually have our pairs now. That
got a pair here.
She got black. I got white. It's kind of blinding white because of my my light here, but they're super comfortable. I mean, they're leather. At least the ones that we got. Right? I think we got the same kind, just a different color.
Yeah. No, you can tell they're really high quality.
Mm-hmm. High quality.
I'm jealous, man.
I know Jackie's kind of gotten screwed here, but he's going to get his by the time we get to Twitch.
Yeah, I'm getting mine next week, so looking forward to rocking them.
Definitely rocking them. But yeah, you can get 15% off right now if you go check out using the promo value, because we're Value Town, capital value, and I think it has to be capped. So make sure you capitalize just in case. And yeah, you can get $15 off. So go to greats.com. Definitely get that right now, and let me know if you guys end up getting a pair. Maybe tweet us, send like a picture of it. That'd be awesome. And really enjoying it too. And a funny story is that I went to PAX West, and I was working the Twitch stage because we were doing Streamer Showdown there. And Rachel, those of you that might know Rachel Seltzer, she's hosted a bunch of Hearthstone stuff, and you see her all around. She's a host for a bunch of stuff. She's a good friend of mine, and Twitch has that show that's called oh god, it's like a shoe show. It totally talks about shoes, right? So they were doing that. I forget what it's called now. Like I kind of feel bad, but anyways, so shoes are a big topic amongst like a lot of the Twitch employees and stuff. So Rachel comes like, Chris, I'm a good friend, right? And it's like, yeah, it's like, I gotta tell you, buddy, you got like dad shoes. I'm like, what? Like, yeah, you got total dad shoes, man. I'm like, I don't know what to tell you. I'm like, all right, so I need to go home and I need to figure out like, all right, I need to get some shoes that are cooler shoes, right? And it's just totally bullying me into this, no, I'm just kidding. No, so this
convenient timing.
Yeah, exactly. Greats ended up reaching out like right at the right time. So they sent me some cool shoes. So I'm definitely gonna be sending those out next time. I mean, just sporting them, over at TwitchCon and BlizzCon. So really, really cool. But thanks a lot to them. They are awesome, and just let them know if you appreciate them sponsoring the show too. Okay, well, why don't we go into Underrated and Jebaited, which is a segment that we do where we just pick a couple cards. Maybe people aren't playing. Mostly people aren't playing. And we just kind of do a quick analysis on it, whether we think people aren't playing it because it's just, you're jebaited, you're just bad, or if it's maybe something that people aren't looking at super closely just because there's a lot of, very popular concepts that are, doing super well in the meta. So today we've got Uther and Tar Creeper to talk about.
Lurker.
Oh, Tar Lurker. Why did I say Creeper? Tar Creeper clearly is good.
Clearly not underrated.
Yeah, Tar Lurker. So, Allie, you wanted to talk about Tar Lurker first, right?
Yeah. So I actually got Lurker in one of my Oktoberbrawl
Nice.
packs, and so I was basically forced to use it. And as I was using it, I mean, it's really good against Priest because it's got 4 attack when it's active. And also, in general, I just sort of feel like Control Warlock, we were talking about this a little bit earlier, is starting to become relatively strong. Like, Defile is an amazing card, you know? And Lurker, I think, would be amazing against aggro. So I think as future expansions come out, I think Control Warlock's definitely going to have a place. And I think Lurker is a pretty solid taunt to add in for, you know, anti-aggro stuff. So thought it might be a little underrated.
Yeah. What do you guys think? Like Lurker, you know, +3 attack against Priest and stuff. That's pretty good right now, right?
I don't know. The thing about Lurker is it just feels like I think it's not necessarily that Lurker is bad, as the Tar Creeper is so good.
Right. Yeah.
Like that you don't necessarily have to play Lurker. Like a 3/5 for 3 is like insane. Or like I mean, like a 4/7 taunt for 5 is, you know, it's good, but it's no like 3/5 for 3 like Tar Creeper.
I feel like it's also like when you get to that stage of the game, like turns 5 and later, you're really trying to. You have so much early game AoE, you clear the board early, and then once you get to this stage of the game, you're not necessarily trying to stop the aggro deck from constantly getting at you. You're more trying to play something to end the game. So that's why you see the inclusion of like Twilight Drake is really good just because of the body on it. It can combo with Faceless Shambler, Mountain Giant. It's just like they're better minions to play to kind of beat their opponent. So
like Despicable Dreadlord.
Yeah, exactly.
Like a good aggro or like good against aggro, like comes back with Gul'dan.
Yeah, I agree. So maybe it's debated. Maybe it's debated.
Well, I mean, Lurker's only a 4/7 half the time too. You know, so it if you really do take the average between it's probably understated. But Jackie,
I mean, I think Lurker is a good card, but I think it's only good in specific situations, right? Because it's very defensive. So if you're playing it, you have to be playing a deck that has some really good late game value to be able to beat Control, because it's purely like as an anti-aggro tool, it's amazing, but it's terrible against Control. So yeah, I would say it's probably a little bit underrated, but it just has a very specific purpose.
Right.
Definitely.
Okay, we got.
It's like. Yeah, Warlock already has like so many like really good anti-aggro things as well.
True.
It's like they really need Lurker on top of that.
I mean, Warlock is kind of just like the anti-aggro class. Like it's
very true.
How do you make it beat Control?
Yeah, probably not with a 1/7 now.
Probably not.
Yeah. Okay, so it's somewhere in between, you know, and there's definitely some parts where you could play, and you know, obviously against Control decks is not very good. So somewhere I think in the middle there. So Uther of the Ebon Blade. So we're talking the DK for Paladin. I think this was one that was rated a little bit higher when it first came out, and then nobody played it for a long time, and then now we're starting to see it kind of pop up again. And Jackie, I think this week you were playing it, and then we even touched on it briefly earlier, you know, with the Control deck by Amicus. So yeah, talk about this. Like, is this good right now?
I haven't played the Paladin Death Knight much at all until recently. But I just wanted to try out the kind of Exodia list where you actually get the OTK. So you're playing like Burglary Bullies to get coins, like Auction Master Beardo. And I actually like a 60% win rate with it. Like I was actually surprised how well it was really, really good against Priest in particular. Wow. And I feel like the Death Knight is actually really strong. Like what you're getting for 9 mana is you're getting 20 healing and 15 damage for 9 mana.
Yeah.
Obviously it's over 3 turns.
On that. Yeah. No question that's good. Yeah.
I think it's very good.
So, have you ever won with the 4 Horsemen? I mean, like
lots of times.
That scenario. The scenario.
That's the only way to win, ChanManV.
Yeah.
I must be terrible at it because I've never done it before. So I've actually still never seen the animation for it. Is it amazing or?
Really?
Is it cool?
I have to say the animation is slightly disappointing.
What?
It's
Really?
kind of lackluster, yeah.
Don't they just
Oh,
blow
like
up?
that's the
Yeah,
Four
it's like-
Horsemen. Oh, come on,
Yeah.
man. That's like the Four Horsemen.
Yeah.
There should have been something amazing for that. Really? Oh, okay. So, all right. So it's a normal thing to win that way, right? Okay, I didn't realize that because you can get cards that you can cast the hero power twice, right? And that's the
Yeah, I mean, you get like coins in your hand with the Burglary Bully, and then you use Auction Master Beardo to reset it, and you create
Got
4
it.
and win the game. Like if you have
Got
2
it.
coins and a secret in your hand, then you do it in 1 turn.
Oh wow. Okay. I didn't actually realize you could do it in 1 turn, man. I'm a bit out of the loop with the Uther here.
But I mean, I think it's a good card like without the like even in just a normal control paladin, like just standalone. I think it's good like that as well.
Okay, do you guys think the hero power scales well though? Like, I mean, obviously a 2/2 is just good, pretty good value compared to some of the other normal hero powers, and I think that was one of the ways people were looking at. But as the game goes on, like tens, turns 10s, turns 15, 2/2s don't matter as much when you get to that point, right?
Like it's 2/2s that they have to deal with though. It's kind of They can't just like leave them up.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
That's a good point. Yeah.
If they didn't have to deal with them, it'd probably be average, but
Okay.
yeah.
I think
So
the only thing like that's keeping this down is probably just like Priest and Jade Druid. So like rotation happens, and this might be like something that jumps up like a lot in value. It's really it's just really good.
okay, so maybe underrated then, I would say. And just generally, if there's a scale. Okay. Yeah, that'd be pretty wild if it was everywhere and people were winning in that fashion, that Four Horsemen fashion. Oh man.
I thought this was going to be one of the strongest Death Knights when we first.
Yeah, I think a lot of
saw
people
them.
rated this pretty high. Yeah. So.
And I still think it is strong, but it's not as strong as the others right now.
Just need a good support. It's just a support deck behind it, and right now Paladin's not the strongest. Even though we see some aggro ones, starting to pop up. That's pretty cool. All right.
I mean, it's mainly the meta. Like control Paladin just gets wrecked by like Jade Druid and killed from 30 health by Priest. So.
Yeah, pretty amazing. Okay, next up we want to let's see. Why don't we talk about? We want to do Mekkatorque's Workshop real quick. We got 3 cards from 2 of our patrons, I believe, and these are so. For those of you that don't know what we do with Mekkatorque's Workshop, we have various patrons and fans, and sometimes we also provide cards where they send them in, take a look at these custom cards, some ideas that they've come up with, and just have some fun with it. So the first one we have is Tail Spinner. So this is a legendary card. It's a 4 mana 2/6. At the beginning of each turn, they summon a 1/1 copy of a random minion. So yeah, baseline is just a 1/1 that's randomly, but you could get bonus of something crazy awesome, right? Like
Any minion?
Yeah, any minion. It could be like Lich King. It could be
That's
Alliestrasza.
Penguin. Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like the majority of the time you're just going to get a 1/1. There's more cards in the game that don't have a end of turn effect or a death rattle, right? So
yeah.
Still decent stats.
It's still decent stats for the.
That's true.
Yeah.
Format 3/7.
Yeah.
Your opponent gets more of a benefit than you, right? Because they get the minion first.
Wait, I think
So you play it and then they get a 1/1.
Both people get the 1/1.
I read that completely wrong.
Yeah,
So did
both
I.
people get the 1/1s. Yeah, so there's a chance that he even leaves it up on purpose for I don't know whatever reason. Like he's a shaman or something. I don't know. You just leave it up. Yeah, give me no 1/1. That's cool. No,
Imagine just playing this and then your opponent just gets a Tyrion instantly. It's like, oh my
Yeah,
god.
Should it be at the end of each player's turn?
That would. Yeah.
How would that work? Because then they wouldn't want to kill it. Okay, so then maybe that would make it better then. 'Cause when you
I
drop
think if it was at the end, it would be better. But it might need to be better, given that it benefits both parties.
I feel like
right?
summon a Doomsayer though at the end of the turn.
Yeah, but that's very rare. I mean, we're talking like 1 out of like 300 or something like that. I think that's fair. That's fair that can happen every once in a while. I mean, I like it. I like the fact that there's a card that generates a minion each turn for each player. I think that concept is generally cool. Yeah. Okay, cool. The next one we have here is Gorgon, the Gorgon Queen, I think it's called. Yeah, Gorgon Queen. It's a legendary, 6 mana, 5/3 body, battlecry turn, target creature to stone. It can no longer attack or be targeted. So it turns into a statue. It turns into a seed, basically. You are now a seed. No. Yeah, so this removes it. I mean, if it can't be targeted, I mean, it should probably be, you can't be targeted by spells and stuff, right? Because if you can't target it, you can't silence it either.
Yeah. I mean, you could die to AoE.
Yeah, but it's not.
I mean, if you
anything,
just want it there, you can still give it like taunt or something. I don't know.
But then how would you?
Okay, that's true. It's true. You could do that.
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay.
I think it would be better if
You
it
could
just
be
couldn't be
the ultimate counter to Death Knight Priest. You play Mindbreaker and turn it to stone, and then they can never touch it. Never
Oh my god.
Oh wow.
That's good.
Wow, that's true.
I guess it was still that a horror though.
Yeah. That's true. That's true. Yeah. So I it's pretty interesting. I think taking up a slot too, like on your opponent's board, can be an interesting thing too. So especially ones that go wide. Maybe if you take an extra slot, like the Bloodlust is one less, and I don't know. I'm trying to think of just some possible ways that
I mean, I think
really
you're
hurt them.
Gonna much more likely like want to use it on your own minions, right? Like minions that have a really powerful effect, like Rag Light Lord, and then they just can't touch it. It heals you forever.
Yeah, that's a good way to do it
thing.
too. Holy smokes, that would be amazing.
You going wild, ChanManV? All right, here you go. You're going wild.
Oh,
You got Brand, Shadowcaster, and Gorgon Queen.
God.
And then you Shadowcaster Gorgon
God.
Queen and keep Gorgoning their minions until their board is full.
Oh,
Oh
Can't
my
do
God.
anything. And then you just
That's
fatigue.
Dude. Yes. Yes.
That sounds great.
That's the play.
That would be awesome. That'd be really awesome, dude.
Oh, they need to print this card now.
I know.
fun.
Totally, right? Oh my god. You have to turn your brand to stone first, right? Just so it's harder for them to kill it too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah.
He's like,
Makes
make
sense.
your brand, then you have brand forever almost.
You can also target Meat Wagon so they can't pull anything out the deck.
Oh,
And it's
God.
counterplay to Meat Wagon
God.
deck.
counter.
Counter-
Meat wagon counter.
That's what we need.
So you go
Need that.
vegetarian.
Vegetarian. Yeah, we should call it the Vegetarian Queen. That's what it should be. That would be amazing. Totally. Okay, well, this is a cool card. Yeah, I like this concept. Totally like it. Better than turning things into sheep, and stuff like that. Let's see. The next thing we've got is, I think it's pronounced Alim, the Peacemaker, which is a Shaman card, I believe. Yeah, Shaman card. 5 mana, 3/6, Battlecry. Give all other minions after this minion attacks, freeze it. So
Wait, isn't that this? Oh no. So it's taking the giant. Oh, what's the card? The Snow Fury Giant.
yeah.
No, it's like the 6 mana elemental guy.
It's the 6 mana 8,
Robbie.
right?
Yeah. What
So
is
it's
it?
giving that effect to all of this.
Oh, the 6 mana 8/8.
Oh, you're talking
Frozen
about
Crusher.
Frozen Crusher.
Frozen
Yeah, that's
Crusher,
what it's
yeah.
called.
Yeah, there
Frozen
you
Crusher,
go.
that's right.
Frozen Crusher. Oh my goodness. Yeah. Yeah, basically doing that, but you're doing that to all the minions. So
Interesting.
I mean, Shaman definitely has synergy with freezing stuff, right? Because they have removal cards and things like that have
Yeah.
to do with frozen targets. So-
Marabi.
Morabi.
Fun card.
Yeah, totally. So yeah, I think this has some potential. I mean, this seems to be something that could fit into the current, existing Shaman. Like what they've already decided.
Yeah, because I feel like the whole free shaman archetype, it doesn't have, I don't know, anything to support it really. So maybe, I don't know, maybe a card like this could help.
Yeah, I mean,
It's-
if you were trying to make a freeze shaman, you'd definitely put this in it because the effect is actually pretty good. But
Mm-hmm.
I mean, would you just play this if you were playing like a control shaman? Would you ever just put this in?
Probably.
Well,
You might. It's like a decent body.
hang on.
I don't think it would be a
don't know,
control
it's
Shaman,
interesting.
right? Like it would be more of a. I mean, you'd be competing. You'd want it in a deck where you're competing for tempo, right? In a control one, I don't think you just remove it. Like, Why would you freeze everything and have them still be?
Yeah,
able
like
to
what's
hit
the
you?
point of freezing? You know, like
Just to
there
like
has
buy a
to
bit
be-
of time, right? Oh, I don't know. Like
But
if you're against like
freezing
Zoo,
your own stuff though, like you don't want to.
Just so you can get cards from Marabi.
He's all about the Maravi, man. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
love Marabi.
Maravi.
I remember
you
one
would draw
time-
a ton from Maravi. That's
I remember one time I was playing against a value freeze mage, and I was shaman. I evolved into Karen. It was Karen Bloodhoof, Savannah Highmane, and Marabi, and they wanted to frost over my board so bad, but they couldn't.
Oh god,
Oh man, that's brutal.
Jesus.
Okay, so
Yeah.
pretty interesting card too. I think freezing the board, the concept of not freezing the board, but it's like this delayed freeze. And some decision making, I'm always going to be all for making more complex turns like that. Is an interesting addition to it. So thanks to Raydan and Shane F. Shane F actually did this one. Raydan did the other two. For bringing those to the table here and showing us, or at least coming up with some imaginative cards. If you guys are interested in sending some in, go ahead and send those to value10@chanmanv.tv, and we'll take a look at those. At this moment, we want to give a shout out to just all our patrons, all the folks that support the show. You guys are the foundation of why we're able to even do this show, just because of all the pledges that you guys make on the Patreon. So if you guys are interested in supporting the show, go to patreon.com/valuetown. And we always like to take some time each and every week to give some shout out, get some love to our some of our awesome patrons. Obviously our legendary producers, Mike T, Rami S, Marshall O, you guys are amazing, and David H, Davin P, William C, Gary D, Vince F, Alex F, Bruce W, Jonathan V, Michael V, Morashti, Zach M, and Steve K. Thanks so much, guys, for doing it. And we're going to take a break from Smilestone. I think what we've decided is we'll do Smilestone like once a month, because some people have been wondering about like the fact that they can't see Smilestone and things like that. So we're gonna work it back in, like maybe like every so often. And we definitely do appreciate making the milestone, because we still have actually made the milestone. So we'll either come up with something different, or we're definitely gonna do Smilestone like once a month or something like that, just so people don't get too tired of it, because we don't get tired of it. Anyways, moving on, we've got another thing which we've been starting to do, our segment, which is host challenge. And Ant and Dr. J, you guys probably don't know about this, but we issue a challenge to the Twitch chat each week to pull off like a certain feat. And this last one was, win a game with a 50-50 or create a 50-50 minion on the board. And we actually had 3 people pull it off. First one here, we've got, who is this? Gosh, I had to see. Okay, so the first one is Equist. So Equist pulled off a 50-50, looks like a Malagos, right?
Malagos.
Yeah,
That's
Malagos.
a pretty looking Malagos.
How do you get to fit? So you have to get to 25, right? 25. So 3. Okay, so you have to get 11. How do you get 11 on Malagos? And maybe he did a little bit of damage first. Yeah, it looks like he got injured, right? So we figured 50 would be a hard number. Do you guys think 50 would be a hard number, guys? Interfire, device, all that good stuff?
Probably not. I don't know.
I mean, I guess it depends on what, like...
If it's exactly 50, maybe it's hard.
Yeah, it has to be exactly 50.
Oh, okay.
I mean, you just pick you pick a minion that... That's actually, 15, because 15 is an awkward number for Priest to Divine Spirit.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So we thought it would be fun. So Equus pulled it off right here. Raydan pulled it off right here on a... Is that an Emperor Thorazan?
Yep.
Oh my gosh. Wow. That's impressive.
I'm because it's injured.
Yeah, it is injured, but
Yeah, it does look cool.
The only person that did it without being injured was Darwin K, which I think he pulled it off here. Yeah, just a straight up 50-50. Oh my god.
Ultrasaur.
Ultrasaur?
Is it?
Oh my god, it is an Ultrasaur.
Oh, that's beautiful.
That's awesome.
There you go.
Dude. He had no more cards, too. He pulled it off at the last minute. And he's going to win on this turn, too. So kudos to his rank 25 counterpart for staying. Good sport, man. Total good sport. You gotta love those. Okay, so thanks guys for doing that, and I think there were a few other people that were trying but didn't quite pull it off. So this week, our challenge to you guys, and Ant and Dr. J, tell us if you think this is too easy, and we'll make it hard if you think it's too easy. But we concluded that getting 5 Elise packs in your hand would be hard enough to be a host challenge this week. What do you guys think?
Getting 5 Elise packs.
That's
In your hand at one time. You have to hold them all at once.
To hold them all at once. You
got like one. I guess like you can only get 3.
Well,
you get the packet and 2 shadow visions, so you get more.
Yeah, because originally I was like 3, and then ChanManV was like,
oh
yeah,
you brand put 2 in. Then you have 2 shadow visions.
See, I would.
Yeah, that seems pretty
5
hard.
5 seems like a good number because 4 seems like it'd be easy, but 5 seems like a good number.
Okay, so you don't think it's too easy? Like I was actually thinking it might be still a tiny bit too easy, but these guys are like, no, 5's a good number. 5's a totally good number. So
yeah, I mean,
if you guys think 5's
originally I
good,
said
then
3, and then.
But 3's, come on, 3's like super easy. Like
I mean, after thinking about it, yeah, I guess.
I mean, that's
You can
easy.
like Shadowcaster, brand. I don't know.
Oh, you could brand Shadowcaster at least. Don't get any ideas from us.
Yeah,
Don't
don't get any. Yeah, exactly right. Okay, well, anyways, 5 Elise packs in your hand, guys. That's the challenge this week. Send your screenshots over to valleytown@chanmanv.tv, and we'll admire your amazing feats, because we probably wouldn't be able to pull it off. So next up, we've got some questions from our just from emails. So October 20th, I'll be hosting my first ever Fireside Gatherings. Al-Anon is asking from Southern Massachusetts, and I'm looking for some suggestions. The biggest question is how to post about it to attract participants. The game shop where I'm hosting put it on their Facebook. I've added it to local Pokemon Go rating groups I'm also in, and hoping for some interest from other gamers. Other than that, I'm convincing my friends to drive down for it. I'm out of ideas. I'm confident I can swing it once people are there, have a good time, and just filling the seats is, obviously the hardest thing. Any suggestions? Anybody want to hop in here? And because definitely I can tell you firsthand too, marketing it, trying to get the word out, even in your local area, is pretty tough, because there's no South Florida subreddit here, where I could just broadcast like, hey guys, we're doing a fireside gathering, and yeah, it's definitely not that easy. So anybody have any ideas? Maybe like you might have seen, or maybe somebody like one of your local innkeepers have done?
I guess you can try going to like other game stores, and see if you can get some support there, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how open they would be to that kind of thing, but it's usually like a lot of the other card players are ones that play Hearthstone.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's something that you could probably try.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good point.
Allie, like, you seen anything, like any of the firesides you've been to, like they do anything cool from a marketing standpoint?
Maybe just more social media, possibly.
Yeah.
I mean, just posting. I mean, going to the Hearthstone Facebook page, or just Reddit. So, I feel like someone should actually someone do this in chat. Make like a Reddit thread of cities, and people can comment and attach, oh, I'm hosting one here, on the Hearthstone Reddit or something like that. So
I bet there, you know what? I bet there actually is one. It's just not publicized very well. So if somebody can find
that,
yeah, actually, if somebody can find that, we'll talk about it like next, definitely next episode, and try to push that, because I think right now there's like just kind of like this assumption or over reliance, or at least Blizzard, I feel like thinks that just the notifications, on the Battle.net client is good enough to get people to go to these things. But a lot of people aren't on Battle.net like 24/7, or they don't have Hearthstone loaded on their phones all the time and things like that. So there just needs to be a more consistent way. I don't know about you, Dr. J, but my experience, I'll just tell you right now, is that it's not easy to get like 100 people to your first Fireside. I mean, that's just like miraculous if you can pull that off, to be honest, like on your very first one. But it's one of those things where if you continue doing it, just make sure the people that go to your first one will go to your next one. And if that means like starting up a Facebook page that you have literally everybody that goes there sign up to it there, or it's a meetup page, like I actually have a meetup page that I pay for like every month, you know, and I just make sure everybody that comes to my fireside signs up on this meetup page. You know, we have like over 100 people sign up now. Then, you have this like constant communication with these people anytime you do another one. So, they'll email them and all that good stuff, right?
Yeah, like I know when I was trying to run mine, one of the first times we ever did it, the first time I like set out, and this is probably like a year ago, maybe a little bit over a year ago. Mm-hmm. One of the first times I tried to do it, I think we got about 15 people, which was like, all right, it wasn't bad. It was for trying to do it the first time. I was like, nice, but then after that, it started like going down, and I wasn't quite sure why. I mean, I kind of did the same things. And there's like an active community in my area that like enjoys Hearthstone. They just don't care to go out to these events. And I feel like with this new incentive of the hero, hopefully that changes what they want to do. I know a lot of people, at least when I would go to the cave, more people would go to the Tavern Hero events, just because the cave up there, a lot of the players, because I get to talk to them, they're more competitive, and they wanted the competitive aspect. They wanted to feel like when they were playing in the tournament, they were like winning something essentially. And I remember going to the cave one time, they had like 30 some people, so that was pretty good. But that was for a Tavern Hero, and then during the regular firesides, they'd get like 12 to 15. So I feel like it all depends on what the incentive is to go.
Yeah, like I totally agree with that. And I think hosting a tournament is like the most basic thing. We always host a tournament whenever we do it. So whether it's a fun tournament or it's an actual Tavern Hero tournament, I think that's the first step, is to just do that. And then you'll just get your normal competitive players to come. But on top of that, just do some fun stuff. Like we've been doing eating contests at Buffalo Wild Wings. So we always like Buffalo Wild Wings. I mean, they totally sponsor ours too. So they give us all these prizes to give away when they do the ultimate eating challenge. And yeah, we've been doing stuff like that. So you can combine like not just Hearthstone related events, combine just fun, contests and stuff with it. And then you'll attract, I think, a wider range of people too. So just get creative with it. You're not limited to just playing Hearthstone at these things, because if it's just like, let's just talk about Hearthstone, guys, let's get together and just talk, that's not gonna do it. That's not gonna get people there, unfortunately. Okay, Joe B has another question that's pretty similar. So Joe B sounds like he's upset about the new Warlock skin because it's locked behind a fireside gathering. So he's been reading the site. Let's see, nothing really talks you through the steps of setting up a fireside gathering experience. So my question is, how easy is it to really set up a fireside? Are there costs I might have, and are there sites for people looking for gatherings I can reach out to and get them to come? Okay, so this kind of has to do with the other one too, right? But I think the biggest thing is just how to really set up a fireside. Like people, I think, might think it's really intimidating. I don't know about you, but I think it's like super easy to set one up, because all you have to do is just register it on the fireside site. Then all of a sudden you're on the calendar, and you can make the fireside as casual as you want. Like you can literally just say, hey, let's just meet up at a bar, and that's the fireside gathering if you want. Or you can make it super complex, right? And just, organize a crazy tournament and stuff like that. So I think just getting one together is actually not hard at all, and it doesn't even incur expenses. But I don't know. I could be wrong about that, but that's how I started. I just like, hey, let's just do a tournament and just play for a fun tournament together, and that's it.
Yeah, I mean, it's not. I mean, I haven't actually been to any, but I imagine it's more of just like a casual social environment. It's not a strict it's not strict or anything. So it's just do whatever you want.
Yeah, I mean,
I've never put one on before, so I don't know.
Well, most of the people aren't like legend. Like I think at my tournaments, I only have like 2 or 3 people that are even legend rank. Everybody else is like rank 10, and so they just like enjoy just having the structure just even set up for you, So it's just a lot of fun for people, and but again, it could just be whatever you want it to be. So I hope it's not daunting for people to think about that. If you're doing it only to get the card back, then clearly you can't do that. You have to have at least 3 of these under your belt before you're considered a tavern innkeeper. So it's not like one of those things that you can just do it real quick and then just get your Warlock skin and you're done. They don't want you to do that either. But yeah, I would say just go to the Fireside Gathering site, just sign up. If you're planning on doing an event, just sign up the event, and then work from there. Just put whatever you want together, and then maybe jump on the Facebook pages in your local area, because there's like a Hearthstone Facebook group, I feel like almost in every state and even country. Like I remember looking through one time, just doing a search on Hearthstone, and there's just all of these groups. So if you just go down, a few of them, you'll find a few people that'll come to your fireside. It's really cool. Okay, well, I think that's all the questions we have for this week. So why don't we wrap up? We kind of got through all these pretty quickly, actually. We aren't quite at the 90. We're quite just getting into the 90-minute mark, so really cool. But Dr. J, Ant, you want to do some shout outs?
Shout out to everybody who played in my mock HCT.
Yeah,
that was pretty cool. I'm glad they had fun with that.
Shout out to Tesla and I guess Blizzard or ESL Studios, whoever set it up for allowing myself to cast this week. That was a lot of fun. I know Ant's gonna be doing that soon, so that's exciting. Shout out to Ant for being right beside me.
Shout out to Dr. J for letting me stay in his room.
You guys are like the dynamic duo, the dynamic meat duo. We'll just call you that.
The dynamic duo. Yeah, man, we're a great A duo.
We're a great A duo. Exactly.
Be you fear.
Yeah, there's
Yeah, but you can follow these guys on Twitter. It's twitter.com/ant_HS, I believe, right? And then at Dr. Jikininki, if you are able to spell that okay, you can follow.
Still struggling to.
Yes.
It's been a year now.
It's like a mental thing. It's like I know how to say it, but it's just like a mental thing. Yeah, exactly. Jackie, want to do some shout outs?
Yeah, shout out to everyone who's using that Void card back and supporting Team Void for Oktoberbrawl. Appreciate that. Paid off. And yeah, thank you to my co-hosts and everyone who's watching the stream.
Allie?
I would just like to say that Jackie remembered to say it now at the bit, like in the week where it's like not even going on anymore. No, thank you shout out to our team, Fate to Karma. Love you guys. Also to the chat, you guys are great. The patrons, thanks for supporting us, allowing us to do the show. And also thank you to our guests, Dr. J and Ant, coming on. Appreciate it, guys. So.
All right, and I'll wrap things up by thanking all of you guys for doing it, everybody for watching, obviously, and of course our sponsor for this episode, Greats Shoes. Thanks so much for sponsoring it, and again, go to greats.com and get your shoes today. Use the value promo, get 15% off, and they'll know you guys are coming from Value Town, and check out all selections. Again, like there's all kinds of whatever type of shoe that you like, you're gonna probably be able to find it there. So check that out. They're gonna be sponsoring the show for the next couple weeks too. So yeah, really appreciate them for doing that. All the patrons, you guys are awesome. Find the VODs on youtube.com/ChanManV. Any questions for Q&A or Mekkatorques, again, email those to valuetown@chanmanv.tv. And we're also available on all the audio channels: iTunes, Google Play, SoundCloud.com/ChanManV. If you like to listen to us on the way to work, yeah, look for us there and leave us a good rating because it helps out with the SEO. But that's going to be it for Value Town this week. So for myself, ChanManV, and Ant, Dr. J, Alliestrasza, Jackie Chan, and everybody else affiliated with Value Town, we will see you next week. Later.
Bye, guys.
See you guys.